Morning everybody, Tony Harris here, TonyHarrisMentoring.com. Hope you guys are having an amazing weekend wherever you are. Want to briefly just circle back on our self-doubt conversation we had the other day, and had some comments and PMs actually that people were just asking a little bit more about maybe the process of kind of working through that self-doubt. For me, one of the really is a massive game changer. If you can overcome this self-doubt, which self-doubt and lack of self-worth really is the one thing that puts a brakes very quickly on your high performance and or moving forward and or living in a higher version of yourself and or trying to get things done in life and just trying to be a better version of yourself and just overall success, to be perfectly honest. Number one thing in working through and sort of purging through this self-doubt process is to be aware. You've got to actually sit down, maybe with a piece of paper, maybe with a recorder, maybe with some voice, maybe with a whiteboard, maybe with just any process that you can work through. And the simplest version really is to sit down with a journal or just a blank piece of paper. Get it down on a napkin, get it down somehow, get it on your computer, but work and just purge it out. Work through firstly, what is your lack of self-worth, and what is your self-doubt? What are your limiting beliefs? Get it down. Am I not good enough? Do I feel like I'm not confident enough? How is it affecting your reality? These are your choices. This is what's in your mind, and these are the stories that you're telling yourself on a daily basis that is affecting your reality. And what it is, it's handcuffing you in life. So what's stopping you? What's the reason? What are the things why can't you be that person? Why, what's in your mind? What are the reasons why? And what's stopping you from being the higher version of yourself? Get it down on paper, purge it out, and just work through it. Then you can actually see it visually. Then you can see the reasons why. Do you think you're not good enough? Do you think you're not pretty enough? Do you think you're not smart enough? Do you think you're not physical enough? Do you think you're not knowledgeable enough? Do you think you're not intelligent enough? Do you not have the social connection that you need? Do you not have the network? Do you feel like you are not active enough? Are you not outgoing enough? Are you not smart enough? I mean, there's 10 right there. Not that I think of myself, but just things that when I talk to people, they're the sorts of things that they say. Get clear and get it out, and then you can look at it. Then it's a matter of accepting that and saying, okay, that was the old version of me. That's why I am living the current reality that I am, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. But if you want to move to a higher version of yourself, or if you want to move to a higher vision, or live from a higher version of yourself, or just become a little better in areas of your life, well, these are the areas that are holding you back. So now it gets fun. Now you can actually work on getting clear on what you want. So the next stage would be to create and craft out a new version of you. And this is where it becomes real fun. What version of you do you want to live from in the new version of you? So do you want to be a person that is good enough to be able to move higher up in your job? Do you feel like you want to be a person that is smart enough to be able to get that degree, work the next 2 or 3 years and get the degree as an adult student and be a better version of yourself and be that pilot that you always wanted to be, or be that architect that you always wanted to be? And I'm 33, I can't do that, it's too old. School was 10 years ago, etc. Start to craft and create the new version of yourself and where you want to come from as far as living a higher version of you. And then get that down on paper. I choose to be good enough. I choose to be smart enough that I can go and create my new version. I choose to be strong enough that I can go and be the physical person that I need to be in my life moving forward. And then once you purge that out, then you can realize, hey, I can be this person. I can be this higher version of myself. I can live a higher version of my life. And it's just a matter of working through this daily now, what I see as a new vision and a new higher version of yourself. Then part 3 is that you really want to try and bring that to the table every day. Work on that every day. How does that version of the new version of you, how does that person bring himself to every day? How do they walk? How do they talk? How do they act? What sort of people do they associate with? What sort of people don't they associate with? What do they? How do they work their body? How do they work their mind? What sort of education and knowledge are they consuming on a daily basis? So how does that higher version of you live on a daily basis? And then, the last portion of it, or last part of it, is really to show up as that person. Show up as that person on a daily basis that is living from the higher version, all right? Living towards the higher version of yourself. Now, this stuff won't happen daily. This is, like I mentioned a couple of videos ago, this is something that you need to do it won't happen in one day. You need to be doing it on a daily basis, all right? And it can be 10 minutes every day. Somebody mentioned to me in one of the comments was that, I haven't got 2 hours a day to work on this. It's a pretty unrealistic, but it's not a matter of doing it 2 hours one day and then none the next day, and then none the next day, and another 2 hours on a Saturday or Sunday. It's a matter of doing this sort of stuff, 5-10 minutes a day, 15, and the initial work might take an hour or two. Let's do it on a weekend. Let's say today's a Saturday, which it is, and then you can go ahead and do that sort of stuff, purge it out, start to craft and create a new version of you. And then what do you have to do on a daily basis to try and live into that higher version of you? Then you can work on that on a daily basis, 10-15 minutes a day, becoming that person, living into that higher version. And you know what? It's look at it holistically. It's a holistic approach on a daily basis, small increments, 5-10 minutes, and it's just, and you can rewire this. You can rewire your mindset. There is absolutely no doubt that's scientifically been proven that you can rewire yourself. It's just a matter of doing the internal work. Remember, this whole game is about 80% mental, 80% mindset. And if you can get that right, you can absolutely rewire and change this whole process. Kind of rush through a little bit of that, but if you have any other information or need any other information or have any other comments or things that you want to mention or ask, shoot us a PM. I love answering those, and I'm here to help. And remember, it's a matter of designing your life, trying to live a higher version of yourself on a daily basis, not being perfect, not being judgy, not being anything. If you want to be a better version of you, if you want to live from a higher version of you, if you want to try and get rid of some self-doubt and become that person that you've already dreamed about, remember, we're going to die one day. That's the mortality is the big kicker here. All right, what do we got? Another 20, 30, 40 years as a 50-year-old, if we're lucky. If you're 25, 30, you get to 50 one day and you'll go, hey, I'm still living that old version of me, and I want to become, I'm not fulfilled. I'm not, I feel like there's more in me, and they're the people that I'm really talking to. If you feel like you're not fulfilled on it, if you are, great, all well and good, have a great life, and I love chatting to you guys too. But if you feel like there's more in you, and if you feel like you've got more to offer, if you feel like there's a higher version of yourself, and like time's running out, and you're going, hey, I've got 20, 30 years left of my working life, or I've got 30 years left of my good physical life, or I've got 20 years left and I don't want to live regrets. I don't want to be 90 when I'm sitting on a rocking chair, and that's my old theory, sitting in a rocking chair there and looking back on your life, you're going to have regrets. So no regrets is what it's all about, and understanding that we're not going to live forever. So this is that to me is the kicker, is that mortality, bring it back to that. We all are going to die at one stage. That's a given, that's 100% guaranteed. And why live a life that is not your highest version, or not maximizing your potential, or being the person that you want to be, or living the life, or having the fun that you want, or whatever it is. Go out and be that person, and start today. Get it down on paper. Look at your be conscious and be aware of your limiting beliefs. Get it down, purge it out. Then have some fun with it. Start creating that new version of you that you want to become, that you want to strive towards, that's going to help you get to gain that success in life, and then you can go out and be that version on a daily basis. All right, good luck with it. Remember, you can live an optimal life completely by your design, which is what we're trying to do today. Go out and be the best version of yourself and go out there and be great. And I'm going to turn off now. All right, have a great weekend. Bye.